Why is a little old lady getting body slammed in the parking lot of a Popeye's chicken? If you look at the standard American diet, if you look at the most commonly eaten foods, if you look at what's at the base of the USDA food pyramid, it's grains, it's glucose, it's sugar. And subsequently, we're dealing with epidemics of anger tied to low blood sugar. What is going on at Popeyes right now? All I know about Popeyes is there is absolute mayhem that is broken out in the streets of Popeyes. Popeyes chicken is just a shit show of people trying to get their hands on the Popeyes fried chicken sandwich.
Oh my God, poor old man.
I've seen videos of people yelling at each other.
Hey, yo, hurry up and bring the fucking sandwiches. There's like 30 sandwiches here. What the fuck am I looking at?
I've seen a video of a guy yelling at a group of people.
Shut the fuck up!
You better not.
And then immediately getting his ass kicked outside the Popeyes.
Sorry. Say sorry. Say sorry right now. I'm sorry.
Exactly.
I saw a video of a Popeyes worker yelling at an old lady who then got body slammed into the ground in front of Popeyes.
Oh, shit.
People are running into each other in the Popeyes drive-thru.
Damn. You f***ing your shit up.
The whole time somebody is recording just this level of embarrassment for humanity. We need to see how much we are failing as a society. So thank you, people who are recording on your phones. We know you're trash, but we appreciate your contribution. All of this is happening because of the release of the new Popeyes chicken sandwich. In full disclosure, I've only had Popeyes one time my whole life. It was in Harlem. I felt awful after I did. So why are there lines to get a Popeyes chicken sandwich? Okay, I can understand the fact that people are rushing out to go buy this viral thing that everybody's talking about. It's just the world we live in. Go out and buy the Popeyes fried chicken sandwich because that's what everybody's doing. You know, it's the same thing as when everybody's buying the same video game during Christmas, or, you know, we're all doing the same dance, or we're doing the, you know, the face swap thing on Snapchat or whatever people are doing nowadays. Clearly, I'm old. But the chicken sandwich does not make any sense to me. It's a disgusting fried chicken sandwich from a place that produces nothing but carcinogenic fried food. And people are waiting in long lines for this chicken sandwich, waiting upwards of 30, 40 minutes, an hour I've seen in some cases. And then what's happening? People are getting violent with each other. People are getting violent with each other waiting for this chicken sandwich. And of course, we're all seeing this on the internet. We're all seeing the viral videos. But I wonder why. Why are we getting violent? Why are people so angry at each other? Well, first of all, if there's anything more than I am anti-chicken, I am anti-line. I lived in New York for a long time. I refuse to wait on any line for anything. If you've ever needed any kind of indication as to how pathetic the health situation is in this country, look no further than the Popeyes chicken sandwich lines. Because this is where you're going to see the detrimental effects of a garbage standard American diet where we promote fried foods we know are actually killing people. In fact, there was a study that came out just this last year. You can see right here the association of fried food consumption with all-cause cardiovascular and cancer mortality, a prospective study. This study basically shows us that fried food is literally killing people. It's giving us heart disease. It's giving us cancer. We don't have to look any further. We know that. So instead of people avoiding the fried food, avoiding the thing that you know can kill you, if you've ever known somebody who's had cancer or died of a heart attack, you would want to do everything you can to avoid the reason that caused that person's early death. And we know from this study right here, exactly what it is. It's fried food. And we know specifically it's fried chicken and fried fish. But let's keep marijuana illegal while people can run out to Popeyes and buy the fried chicken sandwich. But this really doesn't answer the question, why are people acting out like this? Why would you wait in line so long only to fight somebody? Why are there fights breaking out? Why is a little old lady getting body slammed in the parking lot of a Popeye's chicken? Why are people slamming into each other in the drive-thru? Because they cut each other off in the drive-thru, which, by the way, is not acceptable. I am not advocating you cut anybody off in line in a drive-thru. That is just ridiculous. But why would a person do that? Well, it's actually simple. People are acting out because their blood sugar is a complete disaster. We have not only a cancer and heart disease epidemic in this country, but we have an epidemic of low blood sugar in this country. How do we know? Because if you look at the standard American diet, if you look at the most commonly eaten foods, if you look at what's at the base of the USDA food pyramid, it's grains, it's glucose, it's sugar. People are consuming sugar in record amounts, and subsequently, we're dealing with epidemics of low blood glucose, of diabetes, of essentially anger tied to low blood sugar. And this isn't just me making this up. This has actually been studied in peer-reviewed journals. You can see here in this study where they actually evaluated the rates of aggression against people's tendency towards diabetes. So what they found was that people who were more aggressive were more likely to either have hypoglycemia or diabetes. And the states that had the most diabetes also tended to have the highest rates of violent crimes. So what does that tell us? It tells us that low blood sugar, typically from something like diabetes, hypo, or even hyperglycemia, leads to aggressive behavior. Hangry. Have you ever been hangry? Have you ever been so hungry that you just start getting mad and you start lashing out at people? Well, this is exactly what's happening in this Popeye's chicken sandwich line. And so people are hungry. People are hungry in this country. How can we be hungry when we eat more than any country in the whole world? By far. And it's not even close. We know that hunger affects your decision making. We know that it affects you so much that it leads to bad decisions. We know from studies like this that when you're hungry and you go grocery shopping, you buy more garbage food. We know that when judges are hungry, they make unfavorable decisions, but after they eat, they make more favorable decisions. Upwards of 65% of the time, they make more favorable decisions after a lunch break. But people are still hungry, and we know that when you're hungry, that you don't tend to make the best choices. That is actually written about in this study right here, where they write all about the association between hunger and the activation of your HPA axis. Basically, the information superhighway that runs between your brain and your adrenal glands. Your brain starts to get agitated and it produces cortisol out of your adrenal glands. And this cortisol translates into anxiety and it translates into risky behavior. Risky behavior that translates into a Popeyes line, apparently, into getting your ass body slammed or calling somebody the N-word and then getting jacked in the face outside the Popeyes and having it spread all over the internet. So what do? Does Popeyes just stop making the chicken sandwich? Of course not. That's ridiculous. But it's just a sign more than anything that people in America are living through a health catastrophe. And these are the events that happen when you live in a place with a health catastrophe. When you deliver more unhealthy, calorie-dense food full of sugar and processed ingredients, you start getting dysregulation of mental processes. You start getting depression, anxiety, PTSD. You start getting obesity, diabetes, cardiovascular disease. And we know that the fried food that people are eating is tied to an incredibly high rate of risk of cardiovascular disease, diabetes, cancer. But yet we keep doing it. We keep giving people these foods. We keep keeping these foods legal. And here's my question. If we're going to have universal health care, if as taxpayers we're going to start paying in and wealthier people are going to pay more, and the middle class is going to get taxed very heavily for this, are we going to allow these foods like the Popeye chicken sandwich to still be allowed to be eaten? When we know that they cause more of these harmful effects, that they're essentially going to tack on to the amount of the bottom line of our overall bill for healthcare. Not to mention, are we still going to allow people to smoke cigarettes or even eat candy? It kind of seems ridiculous. So I'd love to know what you guys think. Have you eaten the Popeye's chicken sandwich? Do you agree with Justin Bieber that it's a little overrated? Or are you completely avoiding the chicken sandwich and you think this whole thing is ridiculous? Please let me know what you think down in the comments. If you haven't done this yet, remember to subscribe to the channel, give it a big thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and share it on all your social mediums. Thanks so much for watching, everybody. I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.